everybody. We're back. My next guest has been a sports writer in New York for over 25 years. He's the author of 15 books, way too many books. His latest is the #1 New York Times best-selling children's book, Travel Team. Please welcome the Lip, Mike Lupica. So much to talk about. Let's get this out of the way first, because we haven't discussed this since the biggest thing in my sport life ever happened, which is the Red Sox won. I'm from Boston. This was exciting for us. Hey, listen, yes and no. Let's not do that here, please. Yay, boo, yay, boo. Lots of fun to do. If you like it, holler yay, and if you don't, holler boo. Very gay. Now, listen. Really gay. I said that. So I got to ask you, because you know the inside. Steinbrenner must be going nuts. I mean, not only he hates it when the Yankees don't win the World Series, that is unacceptable to him, but then to have this incredible postseason collapse, the worst in their franchise history, what's he doing right now? What's going...
Oh, I'm sure he took it right in stride, Conan, because old easygoing George, you know, he loved being called the evil empire by the the Red Sox owners a couple of years ago.
And he takes it personally, probably.
Oh, no, and that's, I think that's... But you know what, when he's a little down in the dumps, and he's watched, say, the other team win for the first time in 86 years on his field, and spray champagne all over Yankee Stadium, the thing that he usually does to make himself feel better is to go out and spend like $150 million. And I think that's, you know, how shopping is a healing thing for people.
So he gets his Amex card, he's going around, and he's going to just buy players right now.
Yeah, he'll get a $100 million center fielder, and there was a story in my paper, the Daily News, the other day, because they didn't have any left-handers who were any good on the Yankees, now they're going to buy all the left-handers. So they want Randy Johnson, they want Al Leiter from the Mets, they're going to try to get Sandy Koufax to come back. Anybody...
people that are just like left-handed bass players.
Anybody.
Paul McCartney, you know, they're just going to get anybody in there.
Anybody who they think can get David Ortiz out in the 12th inning will be pitching for the Yankees.
There's a story today that Steinbrenner met with Pedro.
Yeah.
And so there's a possibility. What is happening to sports? There's something wrong when there's no sense of continuity with these teams. You know, you get to know this team like the Red Sox this season. It meant a lot to people, but then all the players can be cherry-picked and just, you know, he can go to not only to another team, but to the arch-enemy team, the team that mocked him all season long with Who's Your Daddy. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
Yeah, it does. And all bets were off once Roger Clemens put on a Yankee uniform. Once he, you know, the greatest pitcher to that point that the Red Sox had ever had until, you know, until Schilling this year. Once he became a Yankee, then you knew that anybody would change teams. And they will always tell you it's for the opportunity, it's the chance to come and pitch at Yankee Stadium. When they say it's not about the money, it's like always about the money.
Well, here's the interesting thing, okay, because I want to ask you about this. Latrell Sprewell, in his contract now, he was had a chance to get, I don't know the exact figures, but it was something like $11 million, $12 million a year. He said, no, I want $15 million because I need to feed my kids. I guess liquid gold, I guess. What is he feeding them?
Well, I don't know about you, but I think all of us at our house on Thanksgiving will have a special place in our heart for Sprewell and the Sprewell family. You want to say to him...
Let's start a food drive for him. That would be fun.
You want to say to him, you know, things are going pretty good for you because there was a time a few years ago when you tried to choke your coach. So take the $7 million a year and move on. But he's not even the knothead of the month in the National Basketball.
You're going to tell about Ron Artest, is that right?
Yeah, he's got a rap album to promote. He's only making $6 million a year, but he decided... And who among us hasn't wanted a little me time? You know? But he wants his in the middle of the season. He wants to take a month off to go and promote a rap album. Wait, I always think about how the troops over in Iraq, this would resonate with them, thinking, gee, what are we fighting for? Oh, yeah, I know. A basketball player wants to take a month off in the middle of the season to promote a rap album. But the good news is he says when he comes back after his time off, he will focus on winning a championship for the Indiana Pacers, which as you can imagine, is probably good news to his bosses.
But what's curious is that when you're playing in a sport, I mean, we have a week off here and there with this show, but when you're playing in one of these leagues, you get like 6 months off a year, 4 months off a year.
Yeah, it's called the summer.
Yeah, why can't you go promote your rap album then, or join the circus, or build a robot, or do whatever it is you want to do?
Yeah, you know, just when you heard Spreewell say these things, he said,
right.
That's it, you won. You're the winner. You know, call off the contest line.
Right.
Here comes our test.
Right.
And then, you know, there's no end to the heartbreak. Vince Carter just found out he can't listen to his iPod during pregame warm-up. So, you know,
now,
how much can they take?
This brings on an even bigger point that I want to ask you about personally, which is part of your job is to mock and humiliate, through your writing, large, muscular men.
Yeah.
Does this ever threaten you? Do they ever call you? Does this ever frighten you?
Yes,
I mean, you're literally...
Yes, the answer to that last part is yes.
I make sure I mock celebrities who I have no danger of ever meeting and who are smaller than me. That's what I do. I focus...
Right,
you know what I mean?
No. The guys that I write about and say hurtful things about sometimes are big.
Right.
They're like big the way you're big.
Right.
But they're strong, too.
Right. Well, we're out of time. I promote the book, but I can't find the cover, so...
Oh, no.
No. But you just meant stronger. But, see?
No. I mean, they're not like... They're not... I mean,
yes.
you're talk show strong.
Yes, in the talk show world, I'm a massive He-Man.
No, you're the top seed.
Yeah. I'm like Skeletor.
No,
but,
you would have all 3 championship belts.
Right. But what you're saying is that so has anyone ever called you?
Yes. There's a Nick, a big Nick, bigger than you. Big.
Right.
And
I would think most of the Nicks would be bigger than me, but anyway.
And I wrote something that he didn't like, and I would tell you what his name is, but I have the same phone number that I had before. But he called and yelled at my wife first, and then he called and yelled at me later.
Right.
And
how do you have your number, first of all? Oh, do you like print it at the end of your column with comments? Please call Mike Lupica.
Yeah. If you don't agree with anything you read today, please call me at home, and it'll give us a chance to just. No, I don't do that. But he called, and ever since then, when my wife will read one of these remarks in my column, she will always say the same thing. Why? Yeah. Why? Couldn't we have ended the column 2 paragraphs before?
Right. Why do you do it? Why do you do it?
Because they make me.
Right.
I mean...
Were you picked on in school by the jocks?
No.
I bet you were. That's what happened, right?
No.
Your high school experience was you're wedgied hanging off a door. Get back here!
I want...
Yes, you want them to be better.
I want to celebrate sports, but then they
go and do these things.
Then they do things, and they make me.
They make you. I like it. Well, your latest book, Travel Team, which is on the New York Times bestseller list.
It went to #1 again today.
Very nice. Good for you.
Thank you.
You're a good guy. You deserve good things.
Thank you. It's
Mike Lupica, Travel Team. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Stick around. Everybody, that is our show. Do you want to thank my guest, Mike Lupica? Thank you very much. You straightened it all out for me. Ida Field, thank you very much. Nice of you to be here. Our thanks to Dan Aykroyd for coming on the show. Max Weinberg, 7. Take your last call. Cars and Dan. Goodbye.
Behold, I am the custodian of the solid gold late-night tumbler, guarded round the clock by 2 expensive male models and 3 highly paid imported Brazilian showgirls. Now to find out which unfortunate company member must lose their job, and that poor sucker is Kathy Burns, who works back in the control room.
I lost my job!
She did not take the news well.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. Couldn't we have just fired you and the tumbler support team and sold the solid gold tumbler and made a lot of money?
No?